I'm Libby Glick, a city planner with Denver's Community Planning and Development Department. This presentation was originally given at the Near Northwest Rezoning Implementation Town Hall held on September 12th. This is a version we'll be posting on the project website for anyone interested who was not able to attend the meeting. In this presentation, we'll be going over the project overview and proposal, followed by what we've done for engagement so far, and we'll end with the next steps. We'll start by discussing the project overview and background. City Council adopted the Near Northwest Area Plan in January of 2024. This plan outlines a vision for Chaffee Park, Sunnyside, Highland, and Jefferson Park. It provides guidance and recommendations for land use, transportation, housing, parks, and the local economy for the next 20 years in this area. Now that the plan has been adopted, we are looking at implementing some of the land use recommendations. The diagram on the left shows the planning process, where we work with the community to write a plan. The plan informs future city decisions, including things like building bike lanes or improving parks. In this case, for Near Northwest, we are currently working to implement some of the regulatory recommendations, and more specifically, the rezonings that could help us achieve some of the land use recommendations of the plan. Able to effectively implement our land use recommendations, we have a process that is called legislative rezonings. A rezoning is a process that changes the types of uses and buildings allowed on a given property by changing its zone district. A legislative rezoning, which is the type of rezoning we're proposing to implement this area plan, is city or council led. It's often larger in scale and is intended to implement adopted plans. While this rezoning will ensure the right zoning is in place when development or redevelopment is proposed in the future, the rezoning will not require property owners to make changes to their existing building until they choose to do so. This legislative rezoning is proposing to implement the context and place guidance in the Near Northwest Area Plan. It will also implement several of the land use recommendations, including improving design standards in the commercial areas and rezoning properties from Denver's old zoning code, the former Chapter 59 zoning code, into the Denver zoning code. We'll take a closer look at the recommendations from the Near Northwest Plan that speak about the centers and corridors. The first piece of the rezoning is to rezone certain commercial properties in centers and corridors. The plan recommends encouraging more pedestrian-friendly frontages, limiting auto-oriented building forms, and requiring ground floor active or commercial uses. Given the recommendations, we are proposing to rezone certain properties with mixed-use or Main Street zoning to include the active centers and corridors design overlay, or the DO8. You can see the properties proposed to be rezoned on the map on the screen. There's also a map on this webpage where you can take a closer look. We will also rezone a limited number of two-story areas to 3 stories to include the DO8. Otherwise, all of the existing heights will remain the same. The current rules in the mixed-use and Main Street districts allow for the drive-through building forms or allow for all residential buildings like townhomes. The DO8 will create development that is more welcoming by requiring active commercial uses on the ground floor and requiring drive-throughs to be located behind buildings. Now I'll go into more detail about the overlay proposed for these areas. The purpose of the DO8 is to ensure a true mix of uses where goods and services are provided along with residential. There's generous space for pedestrians by requiring a small setback to make a larger sidewalk and space for patios, and there are more windows to see the active uses. More information on the Active Centers and Corridors Design Overlay, or DO8, can be found in Article 9 of the Denver Zoning Code. The map that I showed earlier, We held a workshop with leaders from each of the 4 neighborhoods who were involved in the planning process. They provided feedback on where the DOH should be located. Now we'll discuss the second piece of this legislative rezoning, which is to rezone some of the former Chapter 59 properties. The former Chapter 59 is the city's old zoning code. It was replaced in 2010 by the Denver zoning code, but not all properties were brought into the new code. About 20% of the city retain the former Chapter 59 zoning. The old code can be challenging to administer. It's not as flexible, and that it does not benefit from the many modern updates that get made to the Denver zoning code, and often results in worse design outcomes like requiring more parking. Near Northwest Area Plan specifically recommends rezoning properties out of the former Chapter 59 zoning code into the Denver zoning code. Is to rezone most of the former Chapter 59 properties into the Denver zoning code, and the proposed districts vary by location. The proposal would follow the guidance of the Near Northwest Area Plan for future land uses, and in most cases would match closely to the currently allowed uses. You can learn more about the zoning under consideration for a particular site by talking with a planner or visiting our website. For the Chapter 59 property owner engagement, staff worked with Councilwoman Amanda Sandoval's office to get contact information for as many property owners as we could find. We then contacted owners via email and phone to see if they would like to discuss a potential rezoning of their property. There are 49 former Chapter 59 areas, and we reached out to property owners of 32 of those areas. And then additionally, postcards were sent to all property owners of former Chapter 59 properties. Finally, we'll discuss the next steps. In the coming weeks, we will gather all the feedback from the town hall and individual meetings to inform and refine our rezoning proposal. We anticipate a formal rezoning application will be submitted later this fall, with the adoption process in the late fall and early winter. The screen shows the project website and QR code where you can find my contact information to reach out with any questions or comments. That concludes this presentation. Thank you for your time and interest in the Near Northwest Area Plan rezoning implementation.